12月28日傍晚，南加华人第一场春晚“春代福禄2020美国华人新春联欢晚会”于洛杉矶东区安大略市精彩登场。晚会主办方 Hope Center， 承办方阿波罗影业公司负责人、本届春晚主席兼总策划周平博士率领全体职员精心打造了这场精彩纷呈的华人春节联欢晚会。本次晚会融合东方文化和西方文化的特点，既有欢乐腰鼓、民族舞蹈、少儿京剧、川剧变脸、民乐合奏等表现中华文化特色的传统节目表演，还有意大利美声男声、女声独唱、现代街舞、小提琴与乐队表演、现代魔术等欧美现代艺术节目表演，堪称一场东西方文化艺术的盛宴。
在2020中国农历春节即将来临之际，南加华人第一场春晚“春代福禄2020美国华人新春联欢晚会”于12月28日傍晚在洛杉矶东区安大略市精彩登场。主办方 Hope Center， 承办方阿波罗影业公司负责人、本届春晚主席兼总策划周平博士率领全体演职员团队，精心打造了这台绚丽多彩的美国华人春节联欢晚会。
很高兴在这里为大家介绍我们今年第一个春节晚会“春代福禄”，由 Hope Center 主办，已经办了第11届了，非常感恩。感谢大家一直以来对我们 Hope Center 的支持。那这次的春代福禄呢，也是为了我们华人社区这些义工们对我们的支持所举办的。今天呢，这个舞台呢是属于你们的，这是属于我们 Hope Center 的全部的义工们，这个是献给你们，谢谢大家，谢谢你们，没有你就没有我们 Hope Center， 非常感恩。
国会众议员赵美心的代表、加州众议员周本利的代表，以及圣盖博市议员廖清和、洛杉矶郡郡长代表吴中国等南加各界来宾700多人齐聚一堂，共同欢度2020新春佳节。本届春代福禄美国华人春晚是洛杉矶旅美华人同胞在庆祝中国国庆70周年、中美建交40周年、澳门回归祖国20周年等重要历史时刻的又一盛事。为了向美国人民讲好中国故事，让洛杉矶华人同胞更好地欢度中国传统新春佳节，主办方盼望之家全体义工同心合力，精心打造了这台美国华人春晚。
我们 Hope Center 呢，因为我们一共有3个宗旨，第一个举办各项有利于社区的活动，第二个就是在食物跟医疗，所以我们有食物银行跟医疗，每3个月的一个义诊。那我们已经做了这几年下来，都不断的都没有停止的一起做下去。再来最后一个就是我们的低收入户优秀学者的奖学金，这是我们 Hope Center 的宗旨，也一直在做下去。
本次春晚融合东西方文化艺术特色，既有欢乐腰鼓、民族舞蹈、少儿京剧、川剧变脸、民乐合奏等表现中国文化特色的传统艺术节目，也有意大利美声、流行歌曲演唱、现代街舞、小提琴与乐队表演、现代魔术等欧美现代艺术节目表演，堪称一场东西方文化艺术的节日盛宴。汉天卫视记者吕立川，洛杉矶安大略市采访报道。
2019年，全世界政治、经济、娱乐都发生了许多轰轰烈烈的历史性事件，而美国政坛也一直处于跌宕之中。在辞旧迎新之际，让我们一起来回顾各个领域2019年新闻的大事要事。
It doesn't feel like impeachment. And you know what? It's a phony deal. And they cheapen the word impeachment.
President Donald Trump lashing out against House Democrats who voted to make him the third president ever to be impeached. The vote was sparked by an investigation into President Trump that shook up Washington for months, prompted by an anonymous whistleblower report alleging President Trump and White House officials held back aid to Ukraine and pressured its new president to announce an investigation into the Bidens. Despite the impeachment actions in the House, the Mueller report did not find sufficient evidence to charge Trump or his campaign with criminal conspiracy connected with the 2016 Russian election interference.
There's an escalating acts are not madness. They are driven by hate.
Mass shootings continue to plague the nation in 2019. On February 15th, 5 were killed at a business in Aurora, Illinois. On May 31st, 12 were killed at a Virginia Beach municipal building. On July 28th, 3 were killed at the Garlic Festival in Gilroy, California. On August 3rd, 22 people were killed at an El Paso Walmart. Hours later, on August 4th, 9 people were killed outside a bar in Dayton, Ohio. On August 31st, 7 people were killed in a shooting spree in West Texas. And on November 4th, 9 Americans were killed in an ambush in northern Mexico.
Sick and dying, they brought themselves down here to speak.
After years of battling with Congress, 9/11 first responders and victims won their fight. President Trump authorized the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund through the year 2090.
So measles has come back.
2019 saw the worst measles outbreak in the U.S. since 1992, after the disease was declared eliminated in 2000. More than 1,200 cases were reported in more than 30 states. The outbreak was linked to unvaccinated international travelers. Vaping tightened its deadly grip on America in 2019. Around 50 people have died of lung illnesses linked to vaping, and more than 2,500 cases of lung injuries have been reported nationwide, sparking a battle between lawmakers and e-cigarette companies, especially over flavored products targeting younger Americans. Hollywood was rocked by the arrest of high-profile actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin. The celebs were just 2 of dozens charged by the Justice Department for using their wealth and status to bribe college admission administrations and facilitate cheating on standardized testing.
Can I give her a hug, please?
Tears flowing in a Texas courtroom. The brother of a murdered victim embracing his brother's killer. Amber Geiger, a former Dallas police officer, was sentenced to 10 years in prison for killing Botham Jean, an unarmed black man, in his own apartment. Firing up one of the largest strikes against an American company ever. Nearly 50,000 General Motors employees walked off the job. The strike came to an end when the United Auto Workers Union voted in favor of a 4-year labor deal.
We woke up to seeing things flying off the walls.
2 back-to-back earthquakes rocked Southern California, the strongest to strike the area in 20 years, destroyed homes and businesses, and generated thousands of aftershocks.
We know that recovery is a long-term thing.
After being battered by Hurricane Dorian, Ocracoke Island, a popular tourist destination off the coast of North Carolina, reopened more than 2 months after the storm devastated the island. Dorian was the strongest hurricane on record to hit the Bahamas, making landfall as a monster Category 5 storm, killing dozens, leaving many missing, and devastating Abaco Island. A historical milestone took place 250 miles above Earth, the first all-female spacewalk outside the International Space Station.
For us, this is really just us doing our job.
I'm Nadia Romero, and those are some of the nation's most impactful stories of 2019.
Let someone else fight over this long, blood-stained sand.
President Trump shocked the world when he pulled U.S. troops out of war-torn Syria, a move widely seen as a betrayal of the Kurdish Syrian Democratic Forces who fought ISIS alongside the U.S.
Stepping across that line was a great honor.
History was made when President Trump became the first sitting U.S. president to step foot into North Korea. After many talks to end the decades-long war with South Korea and denuclearize the country, since then, North Korea has fired off several missiles and now says it has no interest in further negotiations with the United States. Theresa May stepped down as British Prime Minister after failing to secure the UK's withdrawal from the European Union. She was later replaced by Boris Johnson. The deadline for Brexit has been pushed back to January 31st.
He pulled all the strings.
Mexican cartel drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, convicted on charges of running a criminal enterprise, money laundering, and drug smuggling. Outrage took over the streets of Venezuela after Nicolas Maduro was sworn in for a second term as the Venezuelan president. Many countries labeled his re-election illegitimate, recognizing Maduro's opponent, Juan Guaido, as the legitimate president. An economic crisis has forced millions to flee the country. 51 people were killed in a mass shooting at the Al-Noor and Linwood mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand. An Australian citizen has been charged in the attack.
We made our decision to ground the aircraft.
Aviation authorities grounded all Boeing 737 MAX planes worldwide after 2 crashes months apart. 157 people were killed in an Ethiopian Airlines crash shortly after takeoff in March, and 189 people died in a Lion Air flight last October. Software designed to automatically lower the plane's nose if it neared a stall is linked to both crashes. Boeing is suspending production of the MAX starting in January. Sorrow in the streets of Paris after flames tore through the Notre Dame Cathedral, destroying parts of the 850-year-old cathedral. Violent protests in the streets of Hong Kong. Riots began over opposition to a now withdrawn bill allowing extradition from Hong Kong to China, and morphed into calls for greater democracy and investigations into alleged police brutality.
We could detect no signs of life.
Tragedy in paradise. A deadly volcanic eruption devastated the popular tourist destination of White Island, which sits about 30 miles off the coast of mainland New Zealand. Massive fires ripped through the largest rainforest on the planet, the Amazon, this summer. The Amazon Inferno was sparked by cattle ranchers and loggers clearing land. A big win in the war on terror. ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was killed in Syria during a raid by U.S. troops. The crisis down under. A woman rushes into the flames to save a koala from an inferno burning in New South Wales, Australia. The wildfires have killed hundreds of koalas, which are an endangered species.
The birth of a newly born royal baby boy.
The world welcomed Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor to the world in May. The son of Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, is seventh in line to the British throne. I'm Daryl Forges, and those are the world's most impactful stories of 2019.
Well, I don't feel like I'm being impeached because it's a hoax. It's a setup.
President Trump became the third president in history to be impeached by the House.
Article 1 is adopted.
The president is now facing trial in the Senate on 2 articles of impeachment, one for abuse of power, the other for obstruction of Congress. The House vote came after House Intelligence Committee investigation led to the delivery of an explosive report stating the president placed his own personal and political interests above the national interests of the United States. The report came after public and private testimonies from key witnesses, sparked by an anonymous whistleblower who reported misconduct on a phone call between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, alleging the White House withheld aid in an effort to pressure Zelensky to help Trump with the 2020 election by making a public announcement that they would launch an investigation into Ukrainian energy company Burisma and their dealings with Joe Biden's son.
This was an illegal witch hunt, and everybody knew it.
President Trump lashed out against the Mueller probe into alleged Russian collusion involving the Trump campaign, a scandal that haunted his presidency from the very beginning. After nearly 2 years of investigations, Mueller released his findings, concluding the Trump campaign believed it would benefit from the actions of the Russian government, but there was no evidence of collusion.
I pledge that this Congress will be transparent, bipartisan, and unifying.
Democrats regained control of the House, allowing Nancy Pelosi to regain her power as House Speaker, making her the first woman to ever hold the job twice and the first person in 6 decades to regain the post.
But he's sticking to the wall.
The battle over President Trump's border wall kept the U.S. in the longest government shutdown in history, spawning chaos in America's airports and national parks.
Paychecks have stopped.
And causing torment for government workers who depended on a regular paycheck. President Trump eventually signed a bill to end the shutdown, which didn't have funding for the wall.
We have a crisis at the border.
Thousands of immigrant children separated from their parents and taken into custody after President Trump declared a national emergency at the line between 2 countries, allowing him funds to start work on his proposed border wall, sparking backlash from many states and Congress, and in October, a federal judge who ruled the move unlawful. The deaths of some immigrants while in ICE custody or shortly following their release prompted widespread concern about conditions in the facilities. An Inspector General's report from the Department of Homeland Security found immediate risk to the health and safety of some of the migrants.
How many Americans must die in the Middle East?
President Trump shocked the world when he suddenly announced the U.S. would be withdrawing its forces from Syria, sparking backlash from top military officials and politicians on both sides of the political aisle. Many condemned the move, saying America was turning its back on its longtime allies, the Kurds, and leaving them to die as Turkish forces invaded. President Trump has signaled his intention to withdraw months before, claiming victory over ISIS.
We own our own bodies.
Women dressed as handmaids took to the streets all across America in protest to controversial abortion bans that were passed in several states, Alabama passing the strictest of them all. It considers abortion a felony and could land a doctor behind bars for up to 99 years for performing one. The law has been temporarily blocked by a federal court. And political legend Elijah Cummings passed away at the age of 68. Former presidents and top lawmakers packed into a Baltimore church to pay their final respects. I'm Nadia Romero with the most impactful political stories of 2019.
It was a year of Disney domination. The mega studio, which already owned Lucasfilm, Marvel, and Pixar, completed its acquisition of 21st Century Fox. It also owned the box office, breaking its own yearly ticket sales record with more than $10 billion globally, led by Avengers Endgame, which made a worldwide record $2.8 billion. Domestically, Disney had 6 of the year's 7 top-grossing films, and that was before Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker hit theaters. Disney also started its own streaming service, Disney Plus, amassing more than 10 million subscribers within days of launch. But it wasn't the only new combatant in the streaming wars. Apple TV Plus also joined the fray, taking on more established services such as Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. 2019 did not bring George R.R. Martin's long-awaited last 2 books in his Song of Ice and Fire series, but on TV, HBO's Game of Thrones ended its 8-season run with a lot of dead characters and more than a few fan complaints.
He's the puppet master.
The Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly prompted new investigations of the singer, who now faces federal charges in Illinois and New York related to sexual misconduct. He's pleaded not guilty and is being held without bond in Chicago. Also in the Windy City, actor Jussie Smollett told police 2 men attacked him yelling racist and homophobic slurs. After investigating, police arrested Smollett, accusing him of staging the assault, though he denied that and the charges were eventually dropped. In Los Angeles, rapper and community activist Nipsey Hussle was killed outside his clothing store. We also lost filmmaker John Singleton and actor Luke Perry, both to massive strokes, both in their early 50s. 2 Hollywood actresses were among the 50-plus people charged in the college admissions scandal. Felicity Huffman pleaded guilty, admitting she paid $15,000 to boost her daughter's SAT scores and served 11 days in federal prison. Lori Loughlin and her husband deny allegations they paid $500,000 to get their daughters into the University of Southern California under false pretenses. They face up to 45 years in prison if convicted.
You're supposed to hold me down, but you're holding me back.
The year's breakout music star, Lizzo. The relentlessly positive singer, songwriter, and rapper hit #1 on the Billboard chart with her self-empowerment anthem, Truth Hurts. She brought down the house with performances from the VMAs to NPR, led the Grammy nominations, and even popped up on the big screen in Hustlers. No wonder Time magazine named her its Entertainer of the Year. Selena Gomez returned with Lose You to Love Me from her first album since 2015, when she revealed she has the autoimmune disease lupus. And Keanu Reeves was everywhere in 2019, starring in John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, lending his voice to Toy Story 4, popping up in the trailer for the video game Cyberpunk 2077, playing an over-the-top version of himself in Always Be My Maybe, and even showing up in the trailer for the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run.
Hello. Call me Sage. Good name. I'm made out of sage and I am a sage, so it works out pretty well.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Toaster in Celtic.
Pretty sure it does.
2019 was a year of a wide variety of trending and viral topics. What better place to start than the Chicken Wars? In 2019, Popeye's Chicken challenged the pecking order and dropped a sandwich on their menu, taking on behemoth Chick-fil-A. It was hardly poultry in motion. In fact, it got a little ugly. The the chicken chains trading jabs on social media. But just as Popeyes got some marketing momentum, they sold out of the sandwich. Eventually, it did come back, but amid the fast food fervor, there were shouting matches, assaults, and arrests. It's just chicken, people. Come on! They say art imitates life. In 2019, life imitated art when Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper performed an intimate live rendition of Shallow from A Star Is Born at the Oscars. The steamy performance ignited an Are They, Aren't They avalanche on Twitter, but the romantic theory proved shallow when Gaga addressed the trending topic, assuring fans the fireworks were just a byproduct of two dedicated performers. An Instagram user's mission to get the most likes for a photo of an egg turned out to be no yolk. The pic was posted with the caption, "Let's set a world record together and get the most liked post." The egg didn't just get over the previous record holder, Kylie Jenner's number, it got over easy. It beat Jenner's 18 million likes with a whopping 53 million. Whew, that's what I call gone viral. Homemade video app TikTok crossed the billion download mark in 2019, and while it was trending, it spawned another trend. Lil Nas X's Old Town Road went from a TikTok meme to the longest-running #1 on Billboard's Hot 100. It inspired a slew of remixes and imitators, and a bunch of stolen Old Town Road signs. No, really. And then there was Baby Shark. Look, you heard it, you hummed it, and 4.1 billion YouTube views later, you tried to forget it but couldn't. So let's just move on. This is Jeopardy, and this was bananas. Week in and week out, viewers watched contestant James Holzhauer go on a 33-episode tear and break single-game earnings records for the iconic game show. But before you could say, "In your face, Ken Jennings," Holzhauer's earning streak came to an end just a mere $58,000 short of the Know-It-All Champion's $2.52 million haul. So did you try the bottle cap challenge in 2019? The idea was simple. Try to remove a loose-fitting bottle cap with a roundhouse kick without knocking over the bottle. It started in the world of mixed martial arts fighter Max Holloway, but before you knew it, everyone from singer John Mayer to action star Jason Statham got a kick out of it. What started as a Facebook event posted as a joke to storm Area 51 and see them aliens turned into a full-on craze with over 2 million users clicking either going or interested. It brought tons of tourists to the area, but ultimately there was no raid, and the event organizer eventually expressed regret at the monster he'd created. Speaking of creating a monster, ahead of the holiday season, Peloton released an ad showing a woman being gifted one of their pricey exercise bikes and embarking on a year-long fitness journey, and it did not go over well. Critics ripped everything from the husband's seemingly tone-deaf choice of gift to the wife's stunning transformation from a fit, attractive woman to a fit, attractive woman. It wasn't all bad, though. It made a budding star out of the actress, who was quickly cast in an aviation gin ad showing her ironically drinking her sorrows away. Oh, and both of those ads went viral. In Atlanta, I'm Jeremy Roth.
It's your money. I mean, I'm just holding it for you, like a bank.
Probably not. I'm a grouch by trade and nature.
Not this Christmas, Corey, but maybe next year.
I'm going crazy with hunger. Well, eat something. I can't. I gotta lose 10 pounds by 8:30.
It's not every man that can live off the land, you know. You do your own thing in your own time.
I'm Minnie Mouse, here to ask a very important question.
I could tell you that it was an absolute total thrill to see our names up there.
In your house, I am gonna be stepping in it. Whatever.
Another one? Just to put my arms around him takes about a week.
Chewie, is that you? Chewie!
I'm not in a good mood today.
Do they teach beauty queens how to apologize? Because you suck at it.
It's so nice to be back home where I belong.
Well, the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate. See, you got to coordinate. Yes, this is so stupid. I look like a piñata.
We are the United States of America. We are the greatest country in the world.
Because I will not sell out to anybody but to the American people.
Our job is to question power.
My mom, everyone, this is my birthday today.
And I baked this.
She completely surprised me.
For me, coming home here is coming home.
Oh, one more thing. If you can find a better car, buy it.
You are hard times, you are good times.
Hold up, let the beat build. See me in the street still. I've been fighting battles up a steep hill.
感谢您的收看，以上就是今天的汉田新闻，我们下次再见。